Portugal win the World Cup, Pulisic won the Golden Cup, and Brazil flops. Those are 3 predictions. They are all controversial, but they are all backed up. But before I give you all my predictions, I want to go in every group. You know that I will do it differently. I will go in every group and I'll tell you the player that will steal this World Cup. These are the names that will be on everyone's lips by the final in New Jersey. Some of these names you know, some you don't, but at the end of this tournament, you'll know every one of them. Before getting to this video, I just wanted to talk about the setup. I'm in Marrakesh, so that's why the setup isn't perfect, the lighting isn't perfect, but I wanted to do this video before the World Cup starts. I wanted to give you content, guys. And if you want to follow maybe my life in Marrakesh and my vacation, I have a second channel where I upload the vlog. I'll put the link in the description. You can go watch that if you want to see how I travel, if you like vlogging travels, or want to know me personally. That's a good way, so I'll leave it in the description. Let's pass to the video. So let's start with the Group A, where we have Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and the Czech Republic. And honestly, I want to go immediately with Mexico because I believe the host nation again will have a good tournament. I want to talk about the 3 host nations, which will be Mexico, USA, and Canada. I think the 3 will do well, but I think one of the teams that will do well, and surprisingly, it's Mexico. We all know that they're used to playing World Cups, but especially this summer, I see them having a player that will stand out, a player that will jump in the eyes of many European teams, a player that has a profile that is attractive for the European big team. That player will be one of the youngest players in the tournament. For me, he's silky, number 10, dribbler, really good on the ball. I'm talking about Gilberto Mora. I expect him to stand out and become maybe one of the revelations of this World Cup. I really think with the host nation energy, with the crowd behind Mexico, they can do well during this tournament. Let's pass to the Group B, where again you have a host nation in Canada, Bosnia, Qatar, and Switzerland. And honestly, in the Group B, yes, I could have went for Canada, which will be actually my country, which is the team I should be rooting for, but honestly, I can't pass on the fact that there is my guy playing for Switzerland. There is the player that I've talked in the other World Cup video that I've made, which I expect him to become again a top wanted player after this World Cup. Again, he's just been named the UEFA Europa League revelation. He featured in the 15 of Freiburg's Europa League games, played in the final, was maybe Freiburg's best player in the final also. This year has scored 5 goals, 4 assists in 27 Bundesliga games, and he plays as a number 6, can also play as a number 8, can play also on the wing. I think Johan Manzambi will be Switzerland's most interesting player, will be Switzerland gem in midfield, and I wouldn't be surprised if he hands a move to a top European team after this World Cup. So keep an eye on Johan Manzambi. Group C, one of my favorite groups of this World Cup. I think it will be so open and we can see one of the best football at this tournament. We have Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, and Haiti. And I could have went with Ryan with Brazil, but I think you all are more familiar with Ryan. I think it won't be a surprise if you see Ryan becoming again one of the top scorers of Brazil at this World Cup. I think he'll get minutes of that right wing. I think he'll lock down that position and he'll be great. But I want to talk about a different player, Morocco. Who plays for Morocco? I'm actually in Marrakesh, and it's not because I'm there that I want to talk about Morocco, but I genuinely believe Morocco can again go far in this World Cup. They have a great team, and I think one of the players that will stand out is Bilal El Khanous. Bilal El Khanous just put up a great season from Stuttgart. Again, 3 goals and 5 assists in the Bundesliga. Maybe the numbers aren't that great, but this was also the best player in the Europa League, where he scored 5 goals and gave 3 assists, 8 goal involvement in just Europa League this season. Honestly, for me, he will be the X factor for Morocco this summer. In that number 10 role, I think there is a chance Bilal El Khanous earns again a move to a good Premier League side, and maybe it passes through a great World Cup. And the next is Group D, where you have USA, Australia, Paraguay, and Turkey. I could talk about a lot of Turkish talents, but I want to talk about USA because USA is a team that has surprised me in the recent days. I've seen multiple games of them. Probably their game also against Senegal, where they played a good football, fluid football, where they have a lot of talents. But I really believe there is a player that will have a huge World Cup. A player that is known, followed him for the last 2-3 seasons, and he's been crazy good in Serie A, put up a season this season of 14 goal involvement, and last season put up a season of 27 goal involvement in Serie A. I'm talking about Christian Pulisic. I really believe if USA goes for, if USA does great things, it will all pass through Captain America. I really think Christian Pulisic will show the whole world that he is the LeBron James of soccer. Another group that I think will be really interesting, maybe the second most interesting or the first one, it's Group E, where we have Germany, Ecuador, Ivory Coast, and Curacao. And I want to talk straight about Ivory Coast because, again, there is a time that I've named in the last video that I think, especially in his position, he will massively stand out. I'm talking about Gerard Doué. Again, one of the best right backs in Ligue this season. 2 goals, 6 assists in Ligue, playing as a right back. He also played in a back three. He's a player that can play in a back three. He's a player that can play in a right back. Defensively, he's really solid going forward. He's really good. He is really technical on the ball. And I believe with that lack of profile in this modern football, I think he will stand out, and I wouldn't be surprised if he plays for a big club after the World Cup. Keep an eye on Gerard Doué. Another group I want to talk about is the Group F, which has Netherlands in it, Japan, Tunisia, and Sweden. And I want to talk about, of course, the Blue Samurai, the Blue Lock, which will have, again, I think they will have a great World Cup. They have one of the best teams in Asian football history. Honestly, their squad is so good. I think they can beat anyone on a good day. And I think one player that will stand out, a player that everything will pass through, is Keito Nakamura. Again, coming up from a great season, 16 goal and assist in Ligue 2 this season, playing with Hans. And this season before, when Hans was in Ligue, he put up a season with 15 goal and assist. I really believe Keito Nakamura on that left wing will cause a lot of trouble, and I see him earning maybe a move to a good Ligue 1 side. I'm talking about a team that like Rennes or a team like Marseille. I would see him going over there because in France he's well known. He has a good reputation, so I wouldn't be surprised if he moves to a top team. Watch Keito Nakamura. The next group is Group J, where we have Belgium, Iran, Egypt, and New Zealand. I think that's one of the most uninteresting groups. Honestly, it's so, I can say there isn't that much competition in that group. And I will talk about a Belgian player. Honestly, I wouldn't talk about the New Zealand players. I don't know New Zealand players, to be honest. And the player I want to talk about is Nico Raskin. I haven't really watched the games of Nico Raskin. If I want to be honest, I've just seen a bit of highlights. I've just seen that he is one of the most used players by Rudi Garcia since he took over the Belgian team. I've seen that he's put up 13 goal involvements from midfield this season as a number 6. I think that's really good. I think in a team where he will play alongside Yuri Tielemans, where he play alongside Amadou Onana, he can be decisive. I really think after this World Cup, he won't be underrated anymore. So keep an eye on him. We have Group H next. So we have Spain, Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, and Cape Verde. I really wanted to go for a Saudi Arabian player, the only Saudi Arabian player who plays outside of the Saudi League, but I'm a bit worried of Saudi Arabia because they just changed their coach. So I don't know how well they'll do, so I won't talk about him. So I'll talk about more of a player that has surprisingly got a called up with Spain, which I think, again, it's a player who will do well because he will be a perfect super sub for Spain. I'm talking about Victor Munoz. And why I think that is because Lamine Yamal starts this tournament injured. Nico Williams is not in the best of his form, so I think Victor Munoz will get the minutes, and I really think he could show himself to the world. He has showed a lot of interesting things in La Liga this season. Barcelona even are interested in buying him, even though he is a Madrid player initially. So that talks about how good Victor Munoz is, and I think he'll have the opportunities again with that Spain team. The number of chances that they create, the midfield that he has will really put him in the right places. I wouldn't be surprised if Madrid activates the buyback clause after this World Cup. Group I next with France, Norway, Iraq, and Senegal. And I shouldn't talk about a Senegalese player called as I'm in Morocco, but I'll talk about a Senegalese player, a player that I think will earn a move again to a top team after this World Cup. 109 interception, 7 assists in Ligue 1 this season. He's a complete midfielder, honestly. He can destroy, he can build from the back, has a great passing, has a great technical level also to play in a top team alongside great midfielders. I really believe everything that Senegal will do great will pass through Lamine Camara this summer. Great player, and I won't be shocked if after this World Cup he'll be playing for a Merseyside team in red. Let's see if this happens, but I really expect Lamine Camara to reveal himself again to the top teams. Group J next with Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan. And I want to talk about an Algerian player. I think Algeria will do well. I think most of their players are used to play in these weather conditions. I think Algeria can be maybe one of the African teams that can make a surprise in this World Cup. And I think everything will pass through their number 10, their driving force. And I really expect him to be one of the most wanted also players in the summer transfer window, because again, he's so admired by top teams and he is honestly one of the best talented players I've seen this season. Plays for Bayer Leverkusen. I've talked about him in my other videos. I'm talking about Ibrahima Maza. I really think Ibrahima Maza announces himself to the world during this World Cup. Group K next with Portugal, Congo, Uzbekistan, and Colombia. Also one of the most interesting groups we'll have at this World Cup. I think there is no surprise if Portugal finishes first in this group. Honestly, they have the best team, they have the best midfield, and for me, they have maybe the potential best player at this World Cup. It won't be Vitinha, because Vitinha gets a lot of praise and he deserves it, but I think the player next to him, João Neves, will have an incredible World Cup. I really think if Portugal wins this World Cup, it will pass through a great João Neves. I really think he'll be the player that will stand out at this World Cup. I see him really becoming the best player at this World Cup. That's my rock shout. That's my maybe we can say unrealistic prediction I make, but I really expect João Neves to be maybe top 5 Ballon d'Or after this World Cup. That's how highly I rate João Neves. The last one, the Group L, where England is in, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. And I think if England brings football back at home, it will pass through this player. He's been revealed as the Europa League player of the season, one of the best players also in the Premier League. Put up a season of 25 goals and assists in the Premier League. His price tag is already around 100 million. Aston Villa said that they won't sell for less than what they sold Jack Grealish. I'm talking about Morgan Rogers. I really think he'll be England's driving force. I think he will be on absolute flames this summer. Really, I believe Morgan Rogers, there is a chance also that he becomes one of the, if not the best player of the time, but that will depend on if England wins it at the end. So as I said, I think Portugal, for me, will win this World Cup. I really feel that it's their time, and it's also because they have the best players, honestly, in the most important positions. Honestly, for me, I think the team that will win this World Cup is the team that has the best midfield, and Portugal with Vitinha and João Neves, and you add that Bruno Fernandes who's coming in his best form of his life. You add that Bernardo Silva can bring in experience. You add that even a player like Ronaldo up front who will bring leadership in the team, who can also score goals. He's used to playing in these sort of conditions. So I really think Portugal can do it. That's what I think. And I think they'll face Spain in the final. I think, unfortunately, they will beat Lamine Yamal team due to also experience. So for me, I think the Portugal and Spain can be the final, and for me, the dark horse of this tournament. Maybe shouldn't be considered a dark horse because it will be the second time they do it. I think it's Morocco. I really expect Morocco to go for. Again, this is a team with players who are also used to play in this sort of condition. This is a team with, honestly, that has reached also a peak maturity level, that know each other. I really think Morocco can do well in this World Cup. And the flop, honestly, I won't shock everyone when I say that I don't expect much from Brazil. Maybe they can be the dark horse because no one really expects that much from Brazil, but I really think that team is disjointed. I don't think that team is balanced, especially in defense, and that will cost them a lot. I don't expect much from a Vinicius Junior. I never expected much from Vinicius wearing the Brazil kit. Neymar, I'm not really excited to see him. Yes, it's a great story, but I'm wondering if it makes sense. So let's see. And for the Golden Boot, of course, I think Mbappe gets it at the end because France will have a great World Cup. That's it, guys. That's my predictions. I really want to know your thoughts in the comments. Which predictions do you agree with? Which are your predictions from this World Cup? And if you want me to make more videos about the World Cup, I would like to know the subjects. And I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.